Hey guys, WSA here. Europe did not begin as a continent. It began as an idea. In the year 800, one man walked into a church in Rome and left as something the world had never seen before. Not Roman, not Germanic, not Christian in the old sense, something new. His name was Charlemagne, and without him, Europe as we know it would not exist. Europe after Rome. When Rome collapsed in the 5th century, Europe didn't rise, it fractured. Roads decayed, cities shrank, literacy collapsed. Trade reverted to survival-level barter. The West wasn't a civilization anymore. It was a patchwork of tribes. Franks, Lombards, Saxons, Visigoths. Power came from swords, not law. Memory, not institutions. Rome still existed, but only as a ghost. The rise of a Frankish king. Charlemagne was born around 742 into the Frankish ruling dynasty. The Franks weren't refined. They were brutal, pragmatic, and ambitious. When Charlemagne became king in 768, he inherited a violent world and decided to dominate it. For over 30 years, he fought almost non-stop against Saxons in the north, Muslims in Spain, Lombards in Italy, Slavs in the east. This was not conquest for glory, it was conquest for order. The Christian war machine Charlemagne fused two forces that had never been fully united: the sword and the cross. Conversion was not optional. Entire Saxon populations were baptized at spear point. Refusal meant exile, slavery, or death. This was brutal, but it was effective. For the first time since Rome, most of Western Europe shared one faith, one ruling ideology, one political direction. Christianity became the glue that held Europe together. The crown that changed history, 800 AD. On Christmas Day, 800 AD, Charlemagne knelt in St. Peter's Basilica. Pope Leo III placed a crown on his head and declared him Emperor of the Romans. This moment mattered more than any battle. Why? Because Rome had already fallen. But now, Rome was reborn. Not in Italy, but in Europe. This act created a dangerous idea: that emperors needed church approval, and popes needed military protection. Church and state became inseparable. Inventing Europe through administration. Charlemagne didn't just conquer, he organized. He divided territory into counties, appointed loyal officials, sent royal inspectors, missi dominici, to enforce law and prevent rebellion. This was revolutionary. Power no longer depended solely on bloodline or tribe. It depended on administration. This is the ancestor of modern bureaucracy, centralized states, national governance. The Carolingian Renaissance. Charlemagne knew something most kings didn't. Ideas matter. He brought scholars from across Europe, standardized Latin, preserved classical Roman texts. Without him, much of Roman knowledge would be lost forever. Schools reappeared, writing improved, law became written again. Europe remembered how to think. Why his empire failed, but Europe didn't. After Charlemagne's death in 814, his empire collapsed within a generation. Too large, too personal, too dependent on one man. But the idea survived. Europe now believed in Christian unity, imperial authority, shared identity beyond tribe, the Holy Roman Empire, medieval kingdoms, nation-states, all trace back to this moment. Charlemagne's real legacy. Charlemagne didn't create Europe by borders. He created it by concept. That Europe was a Christian civilization, a political order, a shared historical project. Even modern conflicts, France versus Germany, church versus state, East versus West, are echoes of his world. Charlemagne didn't know he was inventing Europe. He was trying to control chaos. But in doing so, he gave a broken continent a memory, a structure, and a future. Europe didn't rise from Rome. It was rebuilt by a king who believed order was worth fighting for.